like a lady.
All right.
Wrap up. Right away, Rashida.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up already?
Wrap it
wow.
up.
Okay.
Wrap up.
Oh, look, people are filing in. Should I wait?
right.
I feel like I should wait. No, I'll just start. Right? Okay.
I feel like maybe start.
Okay.
We all get seated.
Wait, I have an intro.
She
Does
prepared an
everybody have
intro.
their pass?
She prepared an intro.
I'm delighted to be here. I'm with a group of very talented and funny people, all who are responsible for one of my favorite shows. I am truly a super fan. I didn't tell you that, TJ, but
Yeah, she told me. That's veracity is there for that comment.
Anyway, they managed to make a show, an original take on a workplace comedy, a world populated by visionaries, misfits, snakes, stoners, and billionaires, where the meritocracy of a good idea can give a sweatshirt-wearing, socially awkward dude a seat at the world's most powerful table, as if there were anywhere in the world this could actually exist. Right, guys? Anyway, let's get started. Everybody, please welcome the people who make Silicon Valley.
Let's go. Come on. Get some energy in the room. All right? It's a conference. Maniacs.
Okay, let's start with you, Mr. Mike Judge, at the end. Why this world?
I've been wanting to do something about this world for a long time. I'd done a little bit of it with the movie I did, Office Space, and but I don't know. This world was really kind of blowing up, and with Social Network.
I was in that.
Yeah, you were in that, which I thought was one of the few times that they kind of got it right. That I actually believed that these people were programmers, and it just seemed like something that could be just a great area for comedy. I mean, it's
I don't know, Mike. I
absurd
feel like you
world.
haven't seen the movie Hackers. That's like a pretty good, accurate representation.
I have not.
Of what computer interface.
I saw The Net with Sandra Bullock.
Again, very,
Great.
very
I
true
love
to
that
real life.
movie.
You
Anytime
seen
you act-
Blindside with Sandra
I
Bullock?
didn't mean.
Very good.
TJ, off topic.
Sorry.
Off topic. But you're also, I mean, you're not. You have a background in physics, so you're not necessarily like a full-on outsider yourself. I mean.
Yeah, I actually worked as an engineer in Silicon Valley. I lived up here. I lasted about a year and a half, maybe.
Wait,
And,
why didn't you last?
Why did I last?
Why didn't you last?
I guess it wasn't for me, although now I think I may have made a mistake.
There they are.
Where
Okay, so in researching the show, what did you do? How deep did you go undercover? Did you reach out directly to people in the Valley?
Yeah, we did a lot of research. The first season, well, people still don't know who we are. They know who they are, but we're able to.
You mean people in this room, or?
Yeah, I don't think anyone in this room knows.
They
who
do
we are.
now.
We did a lot of research. We went to all over Google, Facebook, and before the show went on the air, we got a very different sort of tour than we did after it went on the air. It was their media relations people that were kind of taking us around after the show went on the air. So
Yeah, we got a lot more defense played on us the first season than we did for the second and the third.
And then when you came back in the second season, were there were people excited? Did they want to be on the show? Did they want to be portrayed on the show?
Yeah, a little bit more. I mean, I think it felt like sometimes people wanted to be on the show just so they could be sort of in on the joke, as opposed to like waiting to get kicked.
Made fun
Weren't
of.
there
So it's
some
like
people,
if I get in there, then I'll be on their team.
Right.
And weren't there some people that were pitching themselves, but they didn't want to play themselves, even though they were like very influential people in Silicon Valley?
Yeah. We got pitched a couple of people who the joke was going to be that they were going to play against type,
Right.
which is great if you know who they are and what their type is.
Right. Such an inside joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if the joke depends entirely on knowing that person personally and knowing that that's not what they're like, that's sort of what we call a joke for one. Or
Do they understand
maybe
TV?
Can you imagine if the CEO of FanDuel played the CEO of the other place, DraftKings? Whoa. Who knew?
What about you guys? Did you do any research? What was your relationship like with Silicon Valley before the show?
Research, just about 15 years of being bullied in elementary, junior high school, and high school. Hosting and going to LAN parties, local area network. Building a few websites, things like, just being like that.
Yeah, I did similar research. It was 15 years of bullying other kids. It was like, making fun of people for LAN networks, but not really knowing what it stands for.
Well, of course, because LAN network would mean local area network, so of course.
This is very funny coming from a guy who asked me if I could help him out and loan him some money from the ATM machine.
My man.
That didn't hit home with all the billionaires in the audience. Other people get my money for me. I bought the...
And they're delivered in big bags with a dollar sign on the front.
And I always wear a monocle when I receive them. I bought the Steve Jobs book, which I think really ended up being closer to home than we even realized in terms of when we joined the show. I haven't read it. Zach Woods did. But the first five or six pages.
He bought it.
First 5 or 6 pages, I rolled just some great joints with him.
Yeah,
that's great.
But hey,
Smoked
now
my way through it.
Turned into 2 movies and a TV series, I guess. So
Marijuana?
Steve Jobs.
Oh,
no,
Steve.
not.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Might as well, I guess.
Amanda.
Yeah, I'd never really worn a pencil skirt before this, so Monica, she doesn't wear pants, so I just really practice wearing pencil skirts.
It's a whole new
Yeah,
thing.
it's a whole new thing. I like it.
How is it being amongst a lot of idiots?
It's tiring. It's really exhausting. I have to
Yeah.
explain a lot of things, and
I mean, I meant their characters. I didn't mean. you guys are great.
oh yeah, oh
Just
right,
in
yeah,
general,
the characters.
You're
the
sort
characters.
of an art. You're like you're an anchor in a sea of a lot of like freaks and weirdos and idiots and genius idiots, but
But idiots. No,
Yeah.
there's a whole different language that you have to speak working in Silicon Valley. That I think Monica speaks both languages, regular, and then I don't know what you would call it, Silicon Valley.
Geek speak, but the E's are 3s.
Ooh,
Ooh, I like.
very
is
elite
that your
hat
password?
I am really trying to hit home with a lot of people in the audience. They're just all on Snapchat. See, too young. What do I do here, guys? This is the new establishment. How come the people right here get the real picture, and then if you're on this side or that side, you think you're at the Vanity Fair summit? If you're on that side, you think you're at the Vanity Fair.
This is a great time to watch a clip.
Yeah.
Let's watch a clip.
Let's go open IPA, huh?
I'm sorry, what? I couldn't hear you. Someone was talking. What? What'd you say? Keep going.
Right. Richard, one potential issue, our hosting fees could become a challenge as we scale.
Right, but we can offset a lot of that once we get a few customers and start a subscription revenue model.
What? Revenue? No revenue. I'll call you back. What? Why would you go after revenue?
Because to make money?
No. If you show revenue, people will ask how much, and it will never be enough. The company that was the 100Xer, the 1000Xer becomes the 2X dog. But if you have no revenue, you can say you're pre-revenue. You're a potential pure play. It's not about how much you earn. It's about what you're worth. And who's worth the most? Companies that lose money. Pinterest, Snapchat, no revenue. Amazon has lost money every fucking quarter for the last 20 fucking years, and that Bezos motherfucker is the king.
The king.
There's no revenue. No one wants to see revenue. Go.
Oh, I just thought that mainly the goal of companies is to make money.
Yeah, no. That's not how it works. I don't want to make a little bit of money every day. I want to make a fuck ton of money all at once. ROI. ROI. You know what that stands for?
Return on
investment.
Nope. Radio on internet.
All right.
So there's been some rumors that character and some other characters in your show might be based on real people. I'm just going to ask, you don't have to answer, but is Russ Hanneman based on Mark Cuban?
Yeah, is Mark here tonight?
Mark, raise your hand.
I didn't say it.
I think
Other
he's
people.
I'll answer that without answering it. He's based on a lot of different people.
Okay.
Some of whom may or may not be Mark Cuban.
Any
When
of which
we
are
were
not.
like a lot of the, there was a lot of these companies we went to. They talk about bad money. We were actually calling the character Bad Money until we came up with the name Russ Hanneman. But yeah, so it was just sort of a lot of traits of what a bad investor would be, and I don't know. There might be a. What made you say Mark Cuban? Radio on the internet?
Yeah, it's just, just an instinct.
Sure. We're deflecting.
Are there other, obviously there's other people that are sort of woven into each of your characters. Like, did you spend any long periods of time with titans of industry during the show? You just said somebody works with you, right?
Yeah, we've spent some time with. We had a dinner with a few people, and we realized that the average net worth of the people we were having dinner with was something like $2.5 billion, and then we picked up the check, which I enjoyed.
Wow.
But yeah, people have been actually enormously helpful and forthcoming.
Right.
Unlike me, who's not going to tell you who any of them are.
No, that's okay. But we were talking about the people who have embraced you. The ones that have kind of openly responded positively to the show. Maybe tell a story about. I'm just such a bad tee up. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, well, Mark Andreessen, who I think he was back here. He's coming on next, I think. Was just a huge fan of the show right away and was tweeting stuff about it, and he was really helpful. We met with him a couple times, got a lot of stories from him.
Yeah, he was great. He'd spent a day just tweeting lines from the show.
That's great.
And we met with him, and he came in and he said, "Okay, for the next hour, I'm going to be a writer for your show." And he just, for an hour, just threw stuff at us that he thought would be interesting.
That's great. And now it's very much part of the zeitgeist. Tell the story about Google.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. You go ahead.
When Google announced Alphabet, the largest restructuring in the history of the company, there was actually I'm sure everybody knows this, there was a hidden link to one of our phony websites, a company we call Huli XYZ, which is loosely based on Google X. So in the massive announcement, they actually Easter egged a link to our phony website, which immediately made me want to run out and short Google. Because what are they doing? Who's in charge of it?
But that's awesome.
It's
that's
crazy.
Great.
Yeah,
that's
but
why
it was,
you do it.
It was kind of amazing and awe-inspiring, and also very puzzling why they tucked us in there. I don't know, but
So was the Google phone, though.
Excuse me? Are you talking?
What was that? It's just a puzzling rollout when they made the phone.
You guys, how do you balance, because this show I think is particularly funny because it's kind of highbrow and then there's a lot of dick jokes. And do you have some sort of quota where you decide that's enough dick and poop jokes for the episode?
No, it's more of a quota. We have to mention our dicks at least every 2 to 3 minutes on the show.
Is that your particular? That's your personal?
Yeah, that's across the board. Disney, anything,
Right. Cool.
If TJ's involved, you are going to hear about his penis.
Do you have any? Do you have what are the parameters? Because it's a delicate balance.
Yeah, I think. I started with Beavis and Butthead, so maybe I have no sense of balance whatsoever.
Woo!
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. But
take it.
The last episode of the first season, we had a pretty epic dick joke, and we were. I don't know. It was interesting because I think we could get away with that because the characters were bummed out and just sort of comforting themselves by trying to. We just made it pure math and pure. It's just engineers trying to solve a problem, and so I think it made it funnier that it's not just a bunch of guys making dick jokes. They're actually trying to solve a problem, but it's about dicks.
With their dicks.
So.
If anybody has not seen that scene and has not seen Silicon Valley, I highly suggest Googling. I think if you put in like algorithm, masturbation, tip to tip, right?
Tip to tip.
Tip
Really,
to tip
Rashida, just say
masturbation.
go straight to that. You don't know the show, just Google the dicks.
Just Google the word dick. It'll come up.
First one. It's the first one.
All of us come up.
Well, I think that's kind of what the balance of the show. It's like that, and you had like a Stanford, some kind of professor work out the actual math of it, and I think that when these guys pay so much attention to the actual, what I want to say, like science of the world that you're creating, you kind of get a little bit more leeway to have dicks touching and jacking them off. Or, just mentioning that the Pied Piper logo looks like, someone smoking a dick with a snack dick tucked behind the ear for later. It helps with that balance. Then, like, the next scene will just be, like, legitimate, like, compression theory.
Or the valuation thing with the Russ Hanneman.
Yeah, that's all real stuff, but it's the silly version of it. But it's like, people say that, I'm sure. ROI, radio on the internet, right?
Yeah, always.
It stands for.
It's part of the new establishment.
Sure.
That's why we're here.
Also, the word data.
We do say the word data a lot.
Yeah. And there's another word out there called megabyte.
It's like a veritable class. I'm just going to sit back and watch.
Gigabyte's bigger
Learning
than megabyte.
so much.
Thomas,
Yeah.
you play this sort of unsustainable but sustainable level of awkwardness, which is it's great because it keeps me on edge. But it's also because you're sort of like a center protagonist, must be difficult to navigate all the time. Do you have any sort of like, because you're not, I mean, you're very
I'm chill, I'm cool.
chill and cool
Yeah.
and socially adept in
Yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah.
So
No.
confident.
What are your methods to get your so relaxed?
I would say it's a real joy to play, Richard. How chill I am is when I did that, my mic pack fell off my body. It is really fun to play. Richard, I will admit that sometimes I get jealous that everybody gets to participate in really fun jokes, and I have to sit there and worry, just as like someone who wants to get in there and contribute to the jacking off conversation or something. But yeah, it's great. I mean, I think Richard has to carry a lot of some of the weight. It's like his dream, and it can totally fail at any moment, and more often than not, it does fail. So, I have to pretend I'm anxious a lot. Period.
Oh, you're done. Okay, cool.
There's no failure, though, like in the show. It's just pre-success,
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. I like that reframing.
As Elon Musk says, failure is an option.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't get that right. Failure is an option. Look at the Hyperloop, I think is what he said.
Not yet.
he
That's pre-success.
didn't.
That's pre-success right now.
Oh, yeah.
TJ,
Period.
have you ever been to an incubator house?
Have I ever been to an incubator house? No, but I can't count the number of incubators I've been to. I just like to watch them grow.
You hear that? Collective moan.
Just TJ, milling about the ward, looking at all those sweet babes.
No, I have. I've never been to an incubator house, but I've been to houses that are very similar. It's a lot of people with dreams, doing a lot of drugs, and just random Asian people appearing here and there.
But no actual work, or?
No, I mean, people are doing work. They're on their computers.
Okay. Okay. Amanda, your character has no last name. You're like Madonna.
It did appear once on her office window.
Everybody has a last name because props need to make ID badges for everybody.
Right.
So every single character that ever appears, like in Hooli,
Oh.
they'll come to us and go, we need last names for 27 people.
Wow.
And so most of the people actually that work, if you look closely enough, most of them are Smith or Jones.
Don't
So
point to
I think
me.
Monica is Monica Hall, I believe.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
Monica Hall. Okay,
I
great.
forgot because I'm a terrible actor, and I didn't do my, my history research of who Monica is. What school did she go to? Which that's in my office too. I don't know it, but she went somewhere fancy. There's a diploma there somewhere.
Okay.
Monica Paul was a
Most of the job of directing the show is actually just reminding people of their last names.
Yeah.
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 In this scene, your last name is Hall.
Okay, great. Actually, that's perfect. We're gonna watch our second clip.
Third season's a lot of surname stuff. Monica? Did you forget about Jin Yang and I's pitch?
No, it was on my phone.
You talking to Benson or Hedges? Am I right? Cigarette company.
Clever.
What if I told you there is an app on the market?
No, not
that's
now.
very-
No, you wait until you're inside, okay? We haven't even gotten the bottle of water yet.
Head in. I'll meet you in there. I just need to finish this call.
Sure. Cool with a K.
Okay.
Leonard? What if I told you there is an app?
Jin Yang, this is the assistant. We wait for the boss to pitch. The woman you saw outside, okay?
Oh, the lady who's a smoking. You said a no.
Oh, sorry. Monica was smoking cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
No. He's confused. He's Chinese. He's talking about this crack addict prostitute we saw at the gas station. She was smoking cigarettes. So sad. Jin Yang, what are you doing? This is Palo Alto. You people are lunatics about smoking here. We don't enjoy all the freedoms that you have in China, right? Where people smoke all the time.
I don't smoke, except for special occasions.
So you do smoke? Wait, have you been smoking in my house?
No, there's no special occasion ever happen in your house.
Very good. Very good. What's the equivalent of like an elevator pitch? You know, in Hollywood, it's like an elevator pitch. What's the equivalent in the tech world? And have you guys heard any stories about like the wildest way that somebody's, raised money for their app?
Well, I had a gentleman that was in the background of a scene at the TechCrunch Disrupt episode, and he came to me afterwards and he was like, we would love you to be like an angel investor or be our spokesperson. You could be our Ashton Kutcher's or whatever. And so and I said, no. And then he came to a stand-up show that I was doing that night, and he was very high, and he approached me afterwards and he said, let me just pitch, because I'm like you. I'm the Ehrlich Bachman of our company. And I was like, that is not a good thing. That is certainly not the best way to start out a pitch. And he said, well, it's Waze.com. So it's what'saroundyou.com. And what it is, do you know Grubhub? And I was like, yeah. He's like, so it's like Grubhub, but what if you could also get like tickets to a theater or a movie? And I'm like, you mean like Fandango or StubHub? And he's like, yeah. But okay, so you know how Grubhub, I was like, you keep saying Grubhub. What is this exactly? And he was like, let me show you. And he showed me his phone, and each time he tried to open the app, it crashed the iOS system. And so then he would have to restart the phone, and awkwardly he would make conversation, but it was clear the conversation he was making was because he went on my Wikipedia page. So the phone would crash, and he'd be like, so you speak fluent Spanish, huh? And I'm like, sí. I mean, So that was very, very strange. And then eventually I had to get him away from me. And I think he said something like, well, what would you charge to do a commercial or something like that? Because we have our Series A investors, and and I just was like, $1 million. And he was like, oh, okay. Nice to meet you. And that was it.
And then he founded Uber.
He did. No, but then Waze came out, which is just his company with a Z about traffic, and now they're fucked,
That's how it happens in the Valley.
Early to market, early to adoption. So my first two kids.
we We were at TechCrunch Disrupt New York. We were walking around the little floor there, and someone came up to us, fan of the show, and says, "Oh, hey, I got this great app. It lets you pray for you. It prays for you." And we're like, "What?" And he didn't know that he was speaking to two almost militant atheists. But on top of that, it's a drop-down menu, I guess, that you select your deity and what you're praying to. We
were like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Do you know Grubhub?"
Okay, on that note, we're gonna
do, instead of Postmates, we want to do Praymates.com. You just tell them what, and then they have to go and pray for you. You can leave a tip.
We're going to take some questions from the audience. Are there people who want to ask questions? That would help. Oh, there's mics on either side of the room.
No pressure.
Yeah,
no pressure.
As you can see, you'll get straight answers, direct.
It's so casual. Let's just get this going, you know?
I see movement.
I see movement, too.
Oh,
but maybe they're leaving.
They might be.
Oh, he might actually. Oh, I think he's
Yep.
leaving.
He did leave. He really left.
Oh, wow.
The pressure was that overwhelming, the idea of speaking.
Come on, guys.
It's like, I got to get to the Veep seminar.
Somebody has a question, right?
I have a question. How have your lives changed since the show started airing? And who are the people that are recognizing you? And
I mean, I have been to many airports where a middle-aged woman or man has approached me and been like, hey, what's your D2F? How far away is your dick from the floor? And I'm like, I don't know, man. How long would it take you to jack off everybody in this airport, huh? I'm like, I don't know, man. And then they're like, my kid loves you in Big Hero 6. And I'm like, then stop talking about this in front of your child. Don't do that. So yeah, you're a lot more recognizable, I think, in general. But it's strange. The show hits all different ages of people. So it's been kind of a catch-all with respect to that.
Yeah, I get people saying it's people that work in Silicon Valley that say it's like a documentary apparently to their life, which is kind of surreal. Which I feel bad for them because so much horrible things happen to the characters. But then also people that just work in an office. They're like, this is like my office. So I guess if you even have an IT department, it's similar.
Yeah, some people say that they work in Silicon Valley and it's too hard to watch the show because it hits too close to home at times. They're like, it just makes me really uncomfortable.
Right.
Because it's real life.
In general, do you guys feel like the show has been well received by Silicon Valley? Like in general, have you had a lot of people contact you, reach out to say, it's hilarious, it's so accurate?
I had Elon Musk, he threatened me in person. And no, I mean, everybody seems to, there's so many startups that everyone seems to approach, at least me, and say, I just want to tell you, my cousin's sister is doing a startup in Silicon Valley. It's right on. I just want to tell you that.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of that. And then for the most part, people receive it pretty well for Silicon Valley. Like people that are really from Silicon Valley, I'm always surprised that they have a sense of humor about themselves.
Yeah.
Or lack of a sense of humor. Or I guess lack of self-awareness. I was at dinner one time and someone just said, hey, you're from the show. Wait 1 second, let me get something from my car. He goes to his car, comes back, and he's got a little bag with a company logo and a t-shirt with a company logo on it. He's like, here, I just want you to have it. Wear it, whatever, if you want to. And I bless him.
Was it a
But
startup?
there was no way.
You don't even have to bless him. You can use the app.
I can use the app. But that I just thought that was I think a lack of self-awareness.
Was it a
someone
startup?
Be like, thank you so much for the free T-shirt. Let me wear it and support this thing that I don't know.
What about?
I think also
That
just the
sounded
idea
arrogant.
of
I'm sorry.
No. I think what he's expressing is the idea that people will they love the show but they don't get the joke. Really, we make fun of promoting and swag is so ridiculous to antenna balls and stuff like that. That's not going to make your company become a unicorn.
Although I do have a Pied Piper antenna ball on my car, so.
What an asshole.
Yep. Sorry.
What do you guys think about this notion that there's a great quote that Gavin has about, let me just get my paperwork together. Okay, there's a great quote from the second season where he's with his spiritual advisor, and he says, and Nucleus is failing, which is his big project, if people haven't seen the show, and he says, have I just surrounded myself with sycophants who are just telling me whatever I want to hear regardless of the truth? And his spiritual advisor kind of appropriately says, no, of course not. And it feels like there's something about Silicon Valley that, you know, like the most megalomaniacal billionaire can be up against like this new kid with a new idea and like dethrone him within a second. And there's something sort of like exciting about that politically, but I don't know if that was like, I mean, do you guys think about those things when you're writing, or does it feel purely satirical?
Yeah, I mean, well, the billionaires that we've met, like, they do seem to surround themselves with these cults form around them. And I think it's something you were saying where people just psychologically like, okay, this guy is worth $2 billion, I only make $300,000 a year, so that guy has to be just great and amazing. Otherwise, my world doesn't make sense. I mean, that's one theory, but it does seem to, and we see it time and time again, a lot of them are surrounded by these people just kind of worshiping them.
Yeah, and there is, like, the number of times we've heard people say, oh, on your show you make fun of how people say they're making the world a better place, but we're actually doing it. Right. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, but I also think there's a really interesting thing that goes on where somebody is making the world a better place and also making billions of dollars doing it, where, like, you know, there's some fluidity in terms of, like, well, how much is really altruism and how much is just self-serving business?
Right.
And a lot of people are doing both. But I don't get the sense, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't get the sense that Henry Ford in his day was marching around talking about how he was making the world a better place. I think he was making a product and selling it for a lot of money.
Yeah, it does feel like there is something particular about the technology that makes people's lives easier, where like you feel probably like a god in a way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the main difference between Silicon Valley and Hollywood. Because I remember I was telling my entourage, I was like, it's so, here, celebrities really are better than regular people. Unless you think I'm wrong, and everyone was like, no, absolutely, you're right. So, I don't know, that's why I prefer Hollywood, because it's so much more authentic, so real.
Yeah, yeah. On that note, I mean, the clock is up, and not one person wants to ask a question?
Yeah. Are you afraid of us?
Yes,
no,
please.
Yay!
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Early adopter.
Only time for one, though. Sorry, so sorry.
But it can be as long as you want. Here,
you wrote it down.
We even have a light.
All right. Can I ask two questions?
Yes.
No, there's been a lot of demand.
Have you guys asked any Silicon Valley personality to come on the show, and they said no? And the other question is, would any of you say one of you made $10 million tomorrow? Would any of you actually start investing in startups?
Good questions.
First question. We've reached out to Mark Zuckerberg, and he declined. I'm just saying it because maybe he's here somewhere. I'll ask him again.
He hasn't said yes yet.
He hasn't said yes yet. That's one. There's been a couple others that turned us down, right? Bill Gates.
Investments? Anybody?
I mean, are you guys? Because I made $10 million last year. Not 10. It was like $9.2 million off of a startup that I thought had a lot of promise. It's called Have you heard of Grubhub?
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching this panel.